Welcome everyone. My name is Nick Ford. I'm the VP of Product and Solutions Marketing here at Mendix, speaking to you from my kitchen in the north of England. Incredibly excited to introduce this session where we'll talk about a new and strategic partnership between Siemens and EQ in the space of data and process integration for the accelerator portfolio. Along with me, I've got my esteemed guest, Raj Khoosho, who's the Senior VP for Transformation Management at Siemens DASW, and Dinesh Khaladkar, the President and CEO of EQ Technologic. Welcome, Raj. Welcome, Dinesh. So let's get started. Raj, Dinesh, can you tell us a little bit more about this partnership between Siemens and EQ? How did it come around, and what is it all about?
Hey, thank you, Nick. Siemens and EQ have been partners for over 15 years. It started with one of their products called EQ BI, Business Intelligence, which got integrated into Teamcenter. We have hundreds and many hundred customers that create actionable insight into Teamcenter data with that product. And in addition, EQ has been helping our customers migrating legacy systems to the unified Teamcenter unified architecture. And EQ also helps quite a bit our efforts in Department of Defense in mission critical systems for the Defense Department in terms of integrating the IT, diverse IT that they have. This particular initiative is around EQ Data as a Service. And this announcement basically enables entire Siemens software to basically work with EQ Data as a Service with all customers and all our direct channels. EQ has been, for the past 15 years, a very trusted, dependable partner, excellent relationship with the field, extremely customer focused with our sales, never lost a deal, and of course is highly respected by our executives. See, the combination of EQ software, Siemens software portfolio, Mendix portfolio enables customers to integrate a wide variety of tools and systems to offer what we call as digital threads.
We at EQ have been in business for 20 years. Our journey started with EQ BI, the business intelligence product. It started with Lockheed Aero on F-35 program. And from there, it's grown to hundreds of customers around the world. The platform itself has evolved to a full-fledged data as a service platform with 6 integrated products within that. This EQ Data as a Service platform forms a connected network of data, applications, and devices, and it puts the power of analytics in the hands of end users. The relationship with Siemens, as Raj pointed to, is very strong. It's a multifaceted relationship. It has been there for many years, and across the world in a number of different customer situations, we have joined the forces and made sure that we are able to leverage each other's strengths to address the customer challenges completely. We definitely understand the importance of challenges related to connecting data and processes, and we are truly excited about this partnership that has been announced. I just feel that there are so many possibilities there now to be able to provide different solutions to the customers in the integration space, federation space, as well as migrating or retiring legacy systems, building for-purpose apps. Essentially, we will create EQ Data as a Service-based integrated data environment for our customers, where they are able to leverage data, which is their one of the most critical assets, to deliver substantial productivity gains and accelerate their digital transformation. With EQ, the customers are able to automatically establish digital threads across their enterprise, and that is what is exciting.
I mean, great. You both mentioned integrating systems, digital threads, connecting processes. Most systems out in the marketplace today don't really talk about that level of coverage or even use case. In fact, they position sort of one size fits all. Raj, it'd be good for the audience to hear the coverage of Siemens provide, or the coverage that Siemens provide with the accelerator portfolio. Can you elaborate on that a little?
Sure, Nick. Let me give my answer in three parts. The first part is an abstraction of the IT systems that our customers have. So there are three categories of IT systems. One is in product development, innovation. The other one is typically business enterprise systems like ERP, CRM, supply chain. And the third one is the real-time execution systems, which is today known as OT. So you see there are distinctly three IT environments that have to be connected together, right? The product development, the business systems, and the execution systems. Let me take a minute, Nick, to talk a little bit about PLM. These are long and deep transactions. They may start with a tiny little requirement and they explode into significant data which is wide in depth, which has tremendous depth and also has a big width. Because in this case, what the product development systems are meant to do is what we call design for X. Design for fit, function, cost, geography, appeal, serviceability, maintainability. So you can see the heavy lifting that we have to do in the PLM side. Then you go into the business systems, what we term as design for business, whether it's supply chain or it's manufacturer or it is plant-specific configurations. This is followed by enterprise asset execution management, which is focused on optimization. So you have three distinct IT environments in our customer. Now, when you look at these three diverse IT environments, we need to connect them into digital threads that tie all these environments together. More importantly, from Siemens software perspective, connecting the digital threads going forward is one thing, but ability to take actionable insight from analytics from the tail end of the process in execution to bring it back to improve the design fidelity is a key value that we provide the customer. So this is from an IT point of view. Now, Nick asked the question about the breadth of integration. And if you look at the breadth of integration, starting with simply data interoperability based on standards or proprietary methods, then on to direct integration that is synchronous or asynchronous. Then you go into the seamless digital threads, and then you go into the management of events and streaming data from the edge computing or devices, followed by bringing the actionable insight from execution all the way to PLM. And the whole idea is to focus on time to value and making this complexity simple. And what eCube does, they offer out-of-the-box integrations into many systems that our customers use, and it's very easy for them to scale up to other integrations. They offer a host of solutions to tie these digital threads together. But more importantly, it is not simply moving data from one thing to the other. They do this without replication, but keeping the context of the data alive, right? In summary, we don't recommend our customers one size fits all. The reason for that is because there are three IT diverse requirements, different types of integrations. So we adapt to the customer, and eCube becomes a very key element for us in this journey to help the customer to automate both data process forwards and backwards. So, Nick, I think this is time I would ask you, given this framework of what I've described of real complexity and trying to make it simple, how does Mendix low-code platform and Mendix Data Hub relate to these integrations?
You describe a sort of an amazingly broad and powerful spectrum that Siemens offers to its customers with the accelerator portfolio. It probably is worth talking a little bit about the Mendix low-code platform and Data Hub. When we look at integrating data and processes, our customers are really looking to turn that data into actionable insight to rapidly build new workflows, new applications, new solutions, intelligent process automation from data that's often locked into core systems. So the Mendix low-code platform, which is actually core to the accelerator platform, its portfolio itself, is a best-in-breed, low-code, rapid application development environment that is designed to enable anyone to build new software, be that departmental software, be that mission critical, strategic solutions deeply integrated into their core systems of record. And we have a unique proposition which allows anyone from a citizen developer using our web browser studio environment to rapid developers and pro developers using our Studio Pro environment to build applications very quickly using a model-driven environment and sort of drag and drop abstraction. So the low-code platform is absolutely pivotal to helping organizations build web and mobile, offline applications, even applications delivered via voice-activated devices or even by PWAs. What we're also doing, which is incredibly exciting this week, is we're announcing the launch of a product called Data, which will revolutionize the way that developers gain access to data inside the development process. So application development is data integration. We can't build applications without getting to data. And so what Data will do is provide a centralized catalog effectively across the organization that will allow a company to curate their data sources, to provide rich data around that metadata, which describes the provenance of that data, the security of the data, who owns the data, potentially where does that data reside in the world, to make an informed decision on how they'll use that data within their applications or not, depending on the decisions they made based on the catalog. So a discoverable world that lays out your enterprise data both visually and through search capabilities. Once you have that catalog, you can drag those data sources, we call them external entities, into the development environment, just start using them as if they were native data. So an incredibly powerful tool that puts in the hands of low and no code developers now the ability to build applications that deeply integrate. What's exciting to me about the relationship that we're building with EQ is the fact that we'll now be able to bring to bear over 60 connectors out of the box that are, hardened through industrial use in the Siemens context, a lot of domain expertise from EQ and partners to bear into that development environment. So now we'll have the capability to use low-code platforms, to use the data layer, but also deeply integrate multiple sources through EQ who can rationalize often a huge amount of complexity and simplify that, delivering it to Data Hub and to the Mendix platform. We're incredibly excited about it. I think it's a powerful combination of products that come together with expertise from EQ and obviously their experience in the industrial space is very, very important to us. So let's now talk about the deep domain and industrial integration space. Dinesh, it's where your product's market expertise, customers and success is key. Can you tell us about how you've been successful in helping customers in those deep domain industrial situations?
Absolutely, Nick. Our customers are spread around the world. They are typically in the Americas or in European markets. They are spread across multiple industries. They are in aerospace defense, Department of Defense, shipbuilding, energy, automotive, high-tech, packaged foods. So they are in diverse industries around the world. And as I mentioned, this data as a service platform forms an integrated data environment, connecting data and processes together. Once you have an integrated data environment, you can create multiple solutions. And they are generally related to federating data. So you don't have to replicate data if you don't need to. Some cases you must replicate the data. We are able to do that. You are able to retire legacy systems, orchestrate business processes across the systems, build for-purpose app, use machine learning to help data curation as well as for business intelligence analytics, providing you that actionable insight, right? As you mentioned, there are 60 plus connectors in the market. We build these connectors, we certify them. They are available to all the PLM systems, ERP systems, supply chain management systems, ALM systems, asset management systems, including also legacy databases. So we connect to pretty much, as I said, that connect to any data in any format, and those connectors are key to that. What I want to talk about and give you perspective on is a few examples of what we've been able to deliver in the market. So if you look at the integration space and look at aerospace defense or automotive customers or space related customers, there are so many case studies where we are able to connect the Team Center PLM system to ERP from SAP, as well as with different types of planning systems, as well as manufacturing execution systems. Most of these integrations have been delivered in production in a matter of few weeks. That's at least a 3 to 5 times improvement in terms of time and efforts compared to any other method that's out there. And that's quite significant. Another example that I want to talk about is a packaged foods company. They're a very large company. All our customers are global 1,000 customers in these industries. But this packaged foods company in the US, they acquired another company of their size. So it was quite a large mergers and acquisition activity for them. This happened a couple of years back. And what they are wanting to do is actually integrate that acquired company's systems, material systems, product specification systems, and bring them into their business. They chose eCube to do that. We were able to deliver that integration 75% ahead of their schedule, just literally in 1/4 of the time. And the cost savings was at more than 50%. Whatever they thought that they will take them to integrate that, we were less than half of that. So that is quite significant. Another area that we generally get involved with is retiring legacy systems responsibly. As Raj mentioned, we have helped many customers around the world take data from legacy systems, competing software products, and bring them into Team Center. That is our data migration related activities. And one of the key parts of our migration solution is we have 100% accuracy of migrated data. And we are generally at least 4 times better in terms of total cost of migrations. I'll put this thing in perspective. If you think about the large aerospace defense customers like Lockheed's, Northrop's, General Dynamics, think about automotive customers, think about the United States Navy. These are very large organizations. And that brings a completely different level of complexity to the fore. One is that you have sometimes data coming from 20, 25 years of historical data. You have thousands of programs, you have hundreds of millions of records, and we are able to responsibly migrate that. When I say responsibly, while the migration is going on, the old legacy system is still in production, and we are able to still migrate that away without actually having any adverse impact on the business. So it's quite significant for companies. Our eCube Data as a Service platform solves complex problems simply. That's perhaps the best way to summarize that. Nick?
I mean, it's very impressive what we've managed to achieve along with Siemens. But can you tell us a little bit about eCube DAS and how that plays as an extension to Data Hub and what that actually means to the Mendix users?
Of course, it's the right question. So technologically, the eCube platform has an innovative data virtualization layer that's completely integrated inside the platform. This data virtualization layer enables us to flatten the structures or neutralize the data which is coming in different formats, different object models, and so on from different systems. We're able to neutralize that. As soon as you are able to neutralize that, you can mash up that data and use it as part of your solution. What does that mean specifically to any developer, Mendix developers and so on? Number one is that the complexity of each application, its own object models, its APIs, its customization is completely hidden from the developers. You don't need to understand They deployed Team Center object model, the Maximo object model, the SAP object model, or any one of these systems, Jira, Bitbucket, there is many of these systems. You don't need to understand it because that itself is a challenge to actually try to bring integration solutions together. So because of the virtualization layer, it basically simplifies that. So that's one. The second thing what it does is that we can take data in any one of these systems from one system or more systems and are able to quickly publish that into a set of maps. So you can take the transformation maps from one system to the other, feed those transformation maps into MI processing pipelines. Each processing pipeline, you can publish that as a REST service or OData service with just a click. And the benefits are immense. I mean, this is how eCube provides a low-code, no-code integration environment, and that enables the developers to create these OData services and then register them inside of Mendix Data Hub. As you well know, Nick, our two teams have been working together behind the scenes. I know you're just launching the Data Hub product. We are pretty excited about that. These OData services that eCube creates, they will get registered in that, and then they will become available to any developer to discover them, search them, and use it to build their Mendix product or Mendix particular application. Another big deal about these OData services is this. If you look at our customer base or any large customer in any industry, they have multiple systems that are older in nature. I mean, they may have systems that are 3 years old, 5 years old, 10 years old. We are able to create OData services connecting even to those older systems. All of a sudden, the possibility for that customer, remember I said that our platform allows the customers to leverage data, which is their critical asset. And this data sometimes is in these older systems. With our platform, we are able to create OData services even for those older systems and bring them together. That's quite a big deal, and therefore it is quite exciting. All of these capabilities truly extend the low-code theme of Mendix with Mendix Data Hub and bring them together. Let's watch this video that shows eCube working with Mendix and how the integration works.
Hey, are you facing challenges developing OData services or apps? Trying to build OData services from one or more applications and publish them to Mendix Data Hub? Introducing eCube, a powerful and innovative data-as-a-service DOS platform. Connect to any data in any format across applications, build composite models and maps across multiple systems, and build OData services. eCube's powerful data virtualization layer removes the complexity of underlying applications' data models, APIs, and customizations, making life easy for you. In other words, all the heavy lifting is done behind the scenes for you by eCube DOS platform. With out-of-the-box integration to Mendix, publish these services to Mendix Data Hub, discover them in Mendix Data Hub, and use them in your app. Simple. It's game-changing for your app development experience. eCube with Mendix. Together, we simply deliver.
We have a live demo in this session. You can look up the agenda and you can see eCube working in action at that time and see how we are able to create these OData services, register them inside of Data Hub, and use them inside of an app. This live demo is only for 30 minutes, so you can understand that how straightforward it is to be able to do that.
I mean, it's incredibly exciting. I mean, as somebody who has built many Mendix applications over the years and struggled with the need to pull data from different systems, all who have their own view of the world, often different views, and consolidating data that maybe span something from Team Center, maybe SAP, for example, and just getting a nice virtualized view of that we can expose into something like data and then really just start building applications on it, I think is going to revolutionize the way that our developers start to utilize data. So we're excited about eCube giving us that deep integration into those core systems. Raj, earlier you talked about various integration paradigms and how it's a continuum. How do you see these paradigms work together? Can customers use more than one?
For sure, yes. But let me take what I call the solution stack explanation to explain exactly the point you made. Because no technical presentation would be ever complete without talking about the solution stack. Dinesh did quite a good job in explaining the coverage of data, process, orchestration, virtualization. I will try to sum it up in a very simple word. First, multi-user experience on the front end, device of choice. So that's the first top level. It doesn't matter what device, it doesn't matter what standard. We will serve it up either through Teamcenter, software, Siemens software applications, Mendix low-code platform, and generic web. The next step in the stack is what Dinesh talked about, this virtualization. I call this a semantic layer, or a layer where you fuse data and serve up data from applications in an intelligent manner to the Mendix applications, right? So the semantics is the next. At that point in time, what the clear two-word moniker there would be any device, any system, right? So any device, any system. Now you go one level below on the stack, and then you see that besides having the connectors and the semantic integrity, now you have security, any security, multiple level of security the system will adhere to. You go one level below where there is the computing infrastructure that needs to play into this whole integration, cloud, on-prem, hybrid, any method of computing. So you see, at the end of the day, the flexibility that I described earlier, from direct integrations all the way to closed loop, on a stack that is extremely flexible. So that is basically what makes these our customers implement complex digital thread with a simple user experience. So I hope that we have covered the various aspects of this relationship, from stack, industry, tools, domains. You have a 360 view of what we do.
I think we have, Raj and Dinesh, absolutely. We've covered a lot of ground in this session, and there'll be subsequent sessions, as Dinesh has already alluded to, on EQ, and take a look at the agenda on the data obsessions. And I'm sure many of you out there who are familiar with our low-code platform, but a ton of sessions where you can get more detail into the products. But I want to finish up with one question, and no doubt for me the most important question for you, Raj and Dinesh. Can you summarize what this strategic partnership means for our customers? Can you give us a sort of few key takeaways? And most importantly, what can we look forward to coming down the line?
Sure. Nick, we were selling as a company the BI intelligence product through Teamcenter. We were selling to the Department of Defense, Navy in particular, eCube data as a service. As a boutique sell, we have enough experience at hand in doing that. And that enabled us to create a new relationship, an extended relationship, which basically allows entire Salesforce to sell to all customers, all industries, all domains. And what was really remarkable about this relationship, Nick, is that by the time Mendix came on board, interoperability with Mendix, not only the Mendix application platform, now Mendix Data Hub. So the idea that we can address these continuum of problems with our customers. Now the unique thing about this relationship is not that eCube is going to throw the products over the wall to us. They are going to be engaged in pre-sales, what we call portfolio development support. POCs, which is proof of concepts, art of the possible. So the idea is that eCube stands hand in hand in all our engagements. Then there's the question of who is going to implement them. For the next year and a half, we would expect eCube to do the implementations as we ramp up to do customer implementations also. So what our customers are so used to getting high level of service from Mendix, they will not miss a beat. Over to you, Dinesh. I think the next part of the question is to you.
Right. Thank you, Raj. So I want to expand on what Raj said. If you think from a customer standpoint, clearly, Nick, clearly the customers are the winners here, because the experience we have had for the past several years in delivering solutions based on our data as a service platform, all of that experience and the successes, lessons learned, best practices, we would be able to bring all of that to bear for every customer situation. And that's what makes it very exciting. As Raj also mentioned, that we have always worked together in the past, but I believe this relationship is much, much tighter now, and we would be able to provide these differentiating solutions for customers' problems. Technologically, as I talked about just a couple of minutes back, the eCube Data as a Service platform is able to provide OData and REST services from any data, whether it is from one system or 5 systems, and is able to create only one single composite OData service that can be registered in the Data Hub catalog and in fact used in any kind of a Mendix application throughout the organization. So that is the kind of thing that is also quite exciting about that. And again, customers are winners here, because one of the takeaways is that it doesn't matter how old the systems are, we are still able to connect and provide OData services for that. As Raj mentioned, for the first couple of years, our team, EQ's team, will lead all the customer interactions, the proof of concepts or art of possible, put together demonstrations as well as implementation. We'll be working hand in glove with the Siemens team, which we have done for many years. And the only last thing I would say is that remember, eCube Data as a Service platform solves complex problems simply, and it should help everybody.
Well, thank you, Raj. Thank you, Dinesh. That was an incredibly interesting session. And I'm sure I speak for everybody listening. We've learned an awful lot as we've gone through that. Let me summarize what we've heard. We've heard about this new strategic partnership between Siemens and EQ, where we'll now be able to bring to bear the 20 plus years of EQ experience, the technology to enable us to build complex industrial solutions that rationalize data from multiple different sources. We talked about the 60 plus connectors that EQ brings to the table and how we'll utilize their skills and services to enable our customers to be successful in building integrated solutions on the platform. We talked about how low code through the Mendix platform will help our customers and end users to rapidly build those solutions that can be deployed onto multiple different touch points and experiences to build the next generations of applications. And we talked about the new data, which is set to revolutionize the way in which we use integration to build applications. So that searchable catalog and how we integrate between the underlying systems with EQ, Data, and then Mendix sitting on top of that. I found that incredibly interesting. Hopefully the viewers did too. I'd like to thank Raj and Dinesh for their time, and hopefully we'll catch up again soon. Thank you very much, gentlemen.